Hi everyone and welcome to Partner Solution Bites. My name's Craig and I'm joined here by Rob from Slalom.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Analysts are saying that data accumulated over the next 3 years will eclipse the last 30. We do a lot of work together in data and analytics. What are you seeing in market at the moment?
Yeah, well, I think the market's quite dynamic. We're seeing a lot of winners who are kind of reaching that state where they're using data from all over the organization. They're melding it in with external sources. They're sharing or monetizing it. There's no shortage of great stories out there. There's also a lot of stories of organizations just starting their journey, whether they're new to the cloud or they've had a few proof of concepts. But I'm pretty excited to see a little bit of everything, including the new joiners in the journey.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of people looking to jump on board in the cloud in particular. But what are some of the blockers out there potentially, like prohibiting customers from getting onto the cloud and running data analytics?
Yeah, most often what I'm finding is that organizations are jumping to chase the shiny objects. They're jumping to build out proof of concepts, proof of architectures, and they're probably rushing into it a little bit technology-led, which leads to a few examples of maybe using graph databases instead of a relational database, or using streaming services through Kinesis rather than potentially using a batch-oriented data ingestion. And it comes back down to focusing on the user and focusing on the right pattern for the job and focusing less on the technology. But consistently across most of my discussions, most people are asking about, how do I get started?
Yeah, perfect. So just on that, how do customers get started?
We have an offering, what we call Enablement-Led Modernization. And that's not a solution for everybody, but for customers who truly are getting started and trying to understand what tools should we use, what architecture patterns should we explore. Our approach is to start off by enabling and upskilling both the business stakeholders, but also technology stakeholders. Teach them what a data fabric is. Just demystify some of the big heavy words around hydration and data lake, and get into what the actual tools are and the benefits they can get from it. We don't start with the business. We also go to the technology and make sure that through a few hands-on workshops, they're upskilled so that they can make some informed decisions around what tools to use to meet the certain use cases and patterns that the business is looking for.
I love that. It's holistic across both business and technology. Do you have an example in market where you've been able to execute this enablement-led modernization?
Yeah, LiveRamp is one of our clients that we're proud of. LiveRamp is a software company that sells, amongst other things, identity resolution for marketing and sales. But ironically, they have a very convoluted way of looking at the full end-to-end customer journey for their own product sales. And the proverbial single view of customer isn't there. So when they approached Slalom, they asked us, how do we get going on this journey to start stitching all this together? And they had 40 or more source systems spread across multiple geographies, multiple tools and data silos at play, and data engineers using pretty much every tool under the ceiling. We started off with some workshops, and we said, okay, let's upskill everybody on the basics of what a proper modern data platform is. And in this situation, it's for marketing analytics, as I said, so building that customer journey. Once we got that upskilling, then we were able to finally align on what the target should look like and what the journey would look like for bringing them kind of to the next state. So we're quite proud of that.
So what were some of the benefits you're able to deliver for LiveRamp in this example?
Well, from a numbers perspective, reducing the number of systems they have to go to build out that customer journey from 40 to 1, effectively a lakehouse built on AWS, of course, and Redshift as an analytical platform. But we've also reduced it from 12 or more dashboards and reports down to 1 dashboard built in Tableau. So that helped this one business unit build that solution that they needed. But for us, the real win was, they built up that flywheel within their organization that allowed the organization to start looking for new use cases that this asset that they've built can start to be applied on. So they've had 3 or 4 other organizations come to them and say, I'd love to ingest the data. I'd love to add in some machine learning. And they're reusing that existing asset to get some more benefits within the company.
That's great. And adoption is key to all of this. You mentioned enablement earlier. What about extensibility? How does the customer extend this solution on their own?
Yeah. Well, through our enablement approach, and whether it's through kind of that initial stages or through the implementation, enabling the business and the stakeholders and the users across the organization on what a data-driven approach will be and how the tools are used and how to use the tools, you just naturally start seeing this propagate across the organization. So it's less of a technology-led adoption and pushing out tools and hoping they use it, and it's much more the business and the customers pooling the data platform to new and innovative use cases.
I love this. Thanks, Rob, so much for joining us today. Thanks also for all the hard work you're doing in data analytics space.
And thanks for having me here.
Absolutely. And thanks everyone for watching Partner Solution Bites. If you want to learn more about Slalom's enablement-led modernisation, please follow the link. And don't forget, have a great day.